Alrighty, everybody, welcome to a special Sunday evening edition of the Burn It Down podcast. I am your host, Ricky Allen Jr. Wow, what a rare instance we're recording this at a time where I can see the sun and it's Sunday evening. Ross, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I love that early start. That was great for my just day in general. Sets me up to have a good long evening tonight. And I'm quite sweaty actually. I walked the last 100 laps of that race on the walking pad, and I'm
Nice.
dying right now. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm curious of your thoughts of the race. I know you were kind of dreading this race coming in. I feel like for the most part, it kind of went, by the book, but I enjoyed it. I thought there was a lot of different strategies. Got a little dull at the end, a little bit of, dramatics with Bell possibly making it. But what'd you think of the weekend overall at Pocono? Uh
If I was
oh.
going to rate this race on a 1 of 10, I would say it was probably about a 5. I just don't enjoy Pocono racing. I find it extremely boring. I thought the Xfinity ORAPs race yesterday was actually pretty good. Not like race flow wise. I mean, there were a ton of cautions, but I felt like the racing was good today. We just know how it is with the next gen. I mean, the cars just can't pass. It's one lane. It was more than just, I mean, it was terribly like one lane today. You couldn't get any runs really behind anybody. Couldn't go up high in turn 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. So yeah, it was, I don't know, just not great racing in my opinion. And you know me, I don't like Pocono. So yeah.
That is true. So I guess we'll kind of work our way backwards since we're fresh off the Cup race here. We'll kind of get our immediate reactions and kind of work our way backwards this week. But man, we said it, Ross. I mean, I don't think it's any big surprise. Denny Hamlin, three-peat, first time ever in his career. I was actually a little surprised to hear that stat today. It's the first time he ever has won three races in a row. Um, Man, is anything gonna slow down Denny and this 11 team right now? I mean, they're just on another planet right now.
I'll tell you two things that'll slow them down. The road courses, the two road courses we
Right?
got coming up, they'll slow them
Yep.
down for a couple weeks. But you know who's going to be good? Tyler Reddick. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just it's them two every week. Two Toyotas, they're the best. Hey, we saw some bright spots from Hendrick today, which was nice. So Larson has some speed out front. You know, Byron was really fast there at the end. Chase Elliott was pretty good till the last run right there. So that was encouraging. So maybe we're about to get some increased competition here soon. But man, it was just another Toyota show. I mean, it was Hamlin and Reddick. So
And, you just said it, Ross, but I was actually really impressed with Tyler Reddick at the end there. It was clear that the overcut certainly worked for him. He stayed out for a really long portion on that final stint. I was a little surprised at first because it didn't seem like tires mattered that much throughout most of the race. And I guess he got some clean air, was able to maximize the lap times when he stayed out. And then when he pitted, man, I think he came out like P12. So the fact that he got back to second, I mean, of course, Denny Hamlin won in the race and everything, but uh, at the same time, I wonder if there's any little bit of, you look in the mirror and go, man, like Tyler still finished second.
yeah, you almost wonder if he'd have pitted like maybe 2 laps earlier if he would have got there because he was rolling there at the end, and they
Oh,
must have
yeah.
made some really good adjustments on his car too because he was just fast and he didn't show that speed the rest of the race like he did there at the end. But yeah, they're the 45, the 11. They're going to be hard to beat the rest of the season.
And it shows the difference too in winning. We talk about it all the time. Obviously, Tyler had his issue last week, and he even said in the post race at Michigan that he was already thinking about the metric and having to qualify early this week, and it clearly did set him back at the beginning. He starts the race 16th. Doesn't get a ton of stage points. I don't think he got any stage points actually at any point. And I'm just looking at the live points, Ross. The difference: Denny Hamlin gets 67 points for the win, and then Tyler Reddick, even though with a P2, only 35. So that's a big, big difference from first to second place just with the stage points, and then obviously the added 15 for the win.
Yeah, I mean it's a big deal. I mean, just look at our race results this year. 8 of the 16 winners this season. I mean, it's mostly Reddick and Hamlin. but they've started on the pole. So half the season, the pole winners won the race. I mean, that just shows you how important it is to qualify up front and how important it is to have that pit stall number one. I mean, I think I had mentioned that like a few months ago that we were on pace for a record. Well, we've tied the record now. I believe that would tie the record for most pole winners to win in a season, and I'm pretty sure we're going to break it. It's just so important this season. And I don't know about you if you noticed it, but it just seems like pit crews just don't make the mistakes. These top pit crews, they're not making mistakes anymore. So to have that P1 pit stall is a huge deal.
Yeah, I agree. It's very rare. Speaking of qualifying, sitting on the pole, I don't know if you saw this little sneaky stat that they slid in right at the end of the race. Our own Zachary Pockris, he loves when I shout him out. So shout out Zachary Pockris, loyal listener to the pod. He texted me right after the race, and he goes, "I'm curious if anyone has ever sat on the pole 3 times in a row and won every single race." And the answer is yes. It goes back to Richard Petty in 1966 and 67, happened twice with him. And then Bobby Allison in 1971. The most recent before today was Darrell Waltrip in 1981. So Denny Hamlin is the fourth driver on that list to get 3 consecutive pole positions and win each race. So I thought that was kind of a cool little nugget for you.
Yeah, that's a cool stat, and it just proves how consistent and how good Denny is in these situations. If you give him track position, if you let him sniff the front of the field at the end of a race, he's probably going to win, or he's going to be right there at it. Um, yeah, I don't know how many other ways I can say that they're going to be hard to beat the rest of the season, but
Yeah.
I mean they're unreal right now, and they're executing just like we saw last week at Michigan. Uh,
I'll add one more thing to think about, Ross. This is almost unbelievable to even say this out loud. Less than a month ago, we still felt like Tyler Reddick was in firm control of this championship. His massive point lead, which in several different points was he had a triple digit point lead. It is withered all the way down to 19 points now over Denny Hamlin. You mentioned it already. He's got the road courses, which I think is going to help him build that buffer up a little bit. Obviously, SVG is. I mean, I think we're all in agreement that SVG is probably going to go wax the entire field at least next week. Sonoma, I still give him the advantage over everybody else, but no reason Tyler Reddick can't go out and run top 5, top 3 both weeks and build some points back up. But has Denny Hamlin, in your opinion, already got it done, or is there a little bit more work to do?
oh man, I just don't see Denny getting any stage points next week. I don't see him. I mean, he's going to be hard pressed to get 20 to 25 points the next 2 weeks combined. So that's 50 points. Tyler Reddick could go out there and get, 50 plus both weeks. So he could be right back at a 60 to 70 point lead going into Chicagoland. And, obviously Chicagoland, those two are going to be two of the favorites. And then after that, I think it's Atlanta, and Reddick won there last time. So I don't think it's over. I think Reddick is still in control here just due to the road courses. And I want to say we have one more road course after Sonoma. Maybe not. Maybe we're down to 4 this
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
So yeah, I
If you're
mean,
if you're Denny, Ross, what's your goal? Like, knowing that you are going to give some back these next 2 weeks, once we walk out of Sonoma, what are you walking away from feeling? Okay, like I did my job. We knew we were going to bleed a little bit, but now it's kind of back to the whip here. What do you think that goal would be? He's minus 19 right now. So how much do you feel like he can give away?
man, I just think no mistakes. Honestly, a 20 to 25 point day would not be bad for him because he's so good on the ovals. I think the 11 car is definitely better than the 45 right now on the ovals. So as long as he keeps that gap manageable, hell, we've seen him cut a 3-digit lead here in the last 3 weeks,
Yeah.
almost down to nothing. And there for a little while, I was looking like Reddick would lose even more. Something happened to him at some point in the race, and he kind of fell down the running order. Oh, he thought he had a tire down or something. He was going to pit. He decided not to. But I mean, that was real close to flipping that, and, I mean, if that would've happened, then, Hamlin would be leading the points by 20 to 30 points right now. I don't know about you, I am just damn tired of seeing Denny Hamlin.
I don't know how much more we can say. We had a whole segment last week talking about, why he shouldn't retire and the possible, generational run he could go on the next couple of years if he wants to. So I feel like we've almost beat that horse to death now. So thankfully the next 2 weeks will likely give us some new storylines. Speaking of new storylines, let's transition a little bit, talk, a little bit deeper into the race. I got to start out with giving Legacy Motor Club a huge shout out. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek, Eric Jones, that's 2 weeks in a row that these guys have both looked really good, specifically Eric Jones. But I know we talked about John Hunter looked good last week too, but unfortunately got some damage and still managed a decent finish. But I had texted you at one point during the race, and I said, a lot of this was due to strategy for John Hunter. But it ain't like he qualified 25th or anything. I mean, he qualified really good. He had a lot of speed. They played a little bit of strategy to get him out front and lead a little bit, but I mean, he was fast. I mean, he came out literally right in front of Kyle Larson after that last stop, and I was watching the onboard with Larson, and John Hunter just gapped him. I mean, he just took off. Um, Eric Jones finishing P6, John Hunter ended up P4. Eric Jones, as of right now, is currently now in the chase. He's up to 15th in points. A lot like Denny Hamlin, he's going to have to manage the road courses now the next.
Yeah, I was also really impressed with John Hunter. You know what he did today was he didn't do anything stupid, which was really good. Um, even when I was worried early in the race because he was racing Reddick for the lead, and I was thinking, man, this is the perfect opportunity for John Hunter to really step on it and wreck it, and have a really bad day. And he just kept his head on his shoulders. We saw last year when John Hunter had good cars, he was able to run up front. I think John Hunter gets a little overhated for talent level because I don't think he's untalented. I think he's a very talented driver. I just think he makes a lot of bad decisions. And today he kept it in check, did a really good job, and ran top five. And when you have a run like this, I just wonder what is going through Legacy's head. You hear these rumors of Retzlaff maybe getting that car next season, and I just don't get it, man. John Hunter's a good driver. That's a story for another day, but yeah, both legacy cars did a really good job, and they're showing speed. They're using that Toyota data, making speed with it, and they're doing a really great job.
Yeah, we got one, two, three, four, five Toyotas on the top nine today. So, I mean, Chase Briscoe fell off a little bit unexpectedly. He was one I was keeping an eye on for one of my bets, and unfortunately didn't work out. Where's Chase Briscoe at in your mind right now? I mean, it's kind of been a weird year for Briscoe. He's kind of the weak link at Gibbs at the moment. Just made a lot of really dumb mistakes early on in the year, and he's had to play catch up. I mean, P12 is it's not a bad day necessarily, but you when you're in the Toyota and the Gibbs camp, I feel like you need to be contending for wins, or if you can't win, pretty much consistently finishing in the top five, at least the top 10. So missed that mark a little bit. What do you think of Briscoe right now?
I just don't think him and James Small get along, and I don't think James Small gets along with a lot of people, and I just don't think they're a good pairing. I don't think they get the best out of each other. Briscoe seems to be in a little of a odd spot right now because you keep hearing rumors that a Toyota team that's not 2311 and not Legacy keeps looking at Chris Buescher for a
Mm.
Toyota ride, and I'm the only logical thing that makes sense to me would be the 19 car. So I mean, that would be interesting. I think he's under contract next season, but something's just not jiving there. I mean, those cars are too good for him not to be solidly in the top five each and every week. And he had a massive fall there at the end of the race. Not sure what happened. I wasn't scanning his radio or nothing, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Because I just don't think he's doing a very good job right now.
I think you hit the nail on the head, to be honest with you. We talk a lot about the marriage between the driver and the crew chief, and sometimes it just doesn't click. I mean, we saw like William Byron and Chad Knaus. That's kind of what it reminds me of a little bit. Ross is, I don't think James Small's a bad crew chief. Maybe he is though. I mean, obviously, I don't think him and Martin really jive together that well. It's obvious him and Chase haven't really jived together. I mean, they did get a what they end up with like 3 wins last year. They still got to the Final Four, so it's kind of funny saying like that it's not a good pairing when that's what you're just coming off of. But I don't know. I feel like their personalities don't really mesh up well together. I'm not saying it necessarily has to, but you look at like Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson, Cliff Daniels and Kyle Larson now. I think Rudy Fugle and William Byron is an awesome pairing. I mean, you've got and then obviously Denny and they're just hitting it, right? So I think maybe a crew chief change possibly on the 19. I don't think Briscoe is a bad driver either. I think he gets himself in a lot of trouble because he just puts himself in stupid situations more times than not. Um, Almost like John Hunter, like we were just talking about. I think he's a more polished version of John Hunter almost, is a comparison I would make. So that's how I feel
Yeah,
about it.
well, you just think back to a couple seasons ago. I remember Denny Hamlin was really upset when they got rid of Chris Gapehart and they put Chris Gale in that position because Denny's thinking, oh, this guy came from Ty Gibbs. They haven't been able to win in the last few years. Well, I'd argue right now Denny's the most successful he's been in a long time with Chris
Yeah.
Gale, and so you just never know. I feel like Martin Truex Jr. was a little hindered by James Small the last few years. They had a lot of race winning times, and there would be an adjustment that just wasn't right, or they'd, pit at the wrong time, burn through too many tires, and I don't know. I just don't think it's a good pairing for those two.
This is gonna probably sound pretty redundant, but I feel like it's pretty true this year. I feel like Hendrick has made another little stride. It's just kind of been baby steps this year, Ross, where they've looked way off at times, and then I feel like they found a little bit of something, and they're just slowly creeping up. Way by far the best run that William Byron and the 24 team have put together this year. At one point, it was looking like he was actually mounting a late charge at Denny. Um, I personally didn't feel like it was really going to amount to like a bout or anything, but I feel like at this point, if you can see Denny at the finish line and you're finishing on the podium, I mean that's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just as someone who makes sports bets, I haven't bet on a Hendrick car all season. Not since maybe week 3 or 4 because it's just been they just haven't had speed. I mean, Elliott has won a couple races, but he hasn't been like super fast by no means. But yeah, they're making strides. When do you see Larson winning again? Do you feel like it's coming soon?
I think you were the one that even told me that they tested there too. That's probably going to be his best shot. I mean, I don't see anyone competing with SVG at the road course, which is nuts because Larson was really good at the road courses for a long time, and I feel like he's kind of taken a step back recently. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of it comes down to qualifying too. I mean,
Yeah,
you qualify
yeah.
at the back, and it's just so dang hard to make any track position, at that point. So, yeah, Chicagoland's definitely going to be the one that I feel like it kind of races similar to Kansas a little bit. Larson's really good at Kansas. I always think about the finish between the two Kyles at Chicagoland. So yeah, I agree with you, Ross. I think that'll be his best opportunity. And then past that, I mean, you got Echo Park. I wouldn't consider him there. North Wilkesboro, maybe Indy's gonna kind of be like another Denny Hamlin race. I feel like he is really good at Iowa. So maybe Iowa if Chicagoland doesn't work out, but we're definitely running out of bullets in our chamber here as we're getting close to the chase.
Yeah, I mean, Toyota is just so far ahead right now. There was a little streak there where Chevy won 4 in a row, but right now we're back in a Toyota streak, and obviously Chevy would probably win the next two. Gotta say, it's disappointing we're going to 2 road courses right now because after Pocono, which I hate, we got to go and sit and watch 2 road course races where we know Shane Van Gisbergen is going to run away with it.
Uh-huh.
And not look as a race fan, I'm not looking forward to that. And yeah. Oh, did you see the good news? I don't want to change the subject, but I'm going to change it
Yeah, go
real
for it.
quick. Did
Yeah,
you
what you got?
see the news that Bob Hocker said that Shane Van Gisbergen, well, any cup guy, you can only run one series each at the San Diego road course. I feel
Yeah,
like that is some of the best news I've
yeah, yeah.
heard in a long time. As a race fan, I don't need to see SVG and Connor Zilic go and dominate the truck race and the ORAPs race and the Cup race. Thank you, NASCAR, for making that decision because I think that'll allow some pretty exciting and interesting racing in the ORAP series and the trucks specifically because, I just don't find it entertaining to see some of these guys go back and dominate those series.
It's, since they raised the limit this year for sure, it's definitely kind of felt a little bit like a stinker in the lower series with specifically the trucks. I feel like, I mean, ORAPs, Justin Allgaier, and we'll talk about that in a little while, but Justin Allgaier is just doing really cool stuff in ORAPs right now. But yeah, I agree with you. I do like that rule, especially it being a brand new track. I feel like it's a massive advantage. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think the only exception is Austin Hill. It's going to be allowed to run the 33 Cup car. So, but I don't know how massive an advantage that'll be. I'm sure it'll be a leg up, but it don't matter. SVG is going to wipe the floor with everybody anyway, barring some kind of mechanical failure. Ross, we kind of started this segment, I think it was last week, and I said it's something I wanted to revisit as we continue to look at our bubble battle at the Chase. I'm on NASCAR.com, and the points have just updated. Um, Eric Jones +6 positions. He went from 21st to 15th. He is now inside the chase. He is up over Brad Keselowski by 4 points. Man, can we talk about Brad Keselowski for a second? I think I saw a stat that said he is now finished 30th or worse in the last 5 out of 7 races.
Man, if you like we said, qualifying is so important. If you don't start up front in these races, especially at a track like Pocono, you're just setting yourself up to be in a lot of crap. We saw it with Brad today. Heck, if it wasn't for Bell's strategy at the end, I don't think Bell ever got in the top 20. I mean, track
Right.
position was so important today. And it's like that every race. Brad has really fallen off. RFK has really fallen off. Now, Buscher's still putting out some good runs, but you've seen with Priest too. Priest and Brad have fallen from firmly in the top 16 to way out, or not way out, but right on the bubble again. So, I mean, what's going on with RFK here, Ricky Allen Jr.?
I do not know what's going on with RFK there, Ross. You know, I think was it 2 weeks ago that I think they interviewed Brad? Maybe it was at Nashville. I think they said he was the only organization that had every single car, in the chase at the time or something like that, I guess outside of maybe Joe Gibbs Racing, or maybe Briscoe was technically out at that time, but yeah, now all of a sudden we've got Chris Buescher really is carrying the flag for those guys. He had a good run today. He's 7th in points, so I think he's pretty firmly in. But yeah, Brad is the first one out now, -4, and then Ryan Preece has really dropped. He is 30. Let's see, 32. I think 33 points out right now. So I mean, that's once you start getting I feel like around that 50 mark is where it starts really getting serious. So he's not quite there yet, but you do have a couple guys that are kind of trying to mount a late charge. You've got Joey Logano in 18th. He's just hanging around, man. I had written Joey off. I don't know if I'm completely writing him off now. I think Joey just does a good job of hanging around and kind of making the most out of a bad day. So Joey is currently 18th, 31 out of his teammate Austin Cindric on the bubble. Um, Austin Cindric to me is in big danger territory, but he's also a good road course driver. So I'm curious maybe if he can take advantage of these next 2 races.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same. I'm getting less and less confident about Joey. Today would have been a good day for Joey to, cement himself in the bubble, but as we've seen from Ford, man, they're just really struggling on speed. The only Ford that seems to have any speed right now wrecked out on like lap 30 or whatever with Zane Smith, and even Ryan Blaney's struggling. Now he might have got a top 10 today, but it would have been real close there. I didn't really even pay attention. He wasn't in the conversation all day, so it was just kind of hard to keep up with. Um, Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And how about Daniel Suarez just still popping off good finishes, up to 8th in standings, +2 today. I mean, what the heck? He's not even running good. That's the problem. He's just knocking out these finishes, getting himself
Yeah,
in good
he's not
positions.
really having any big blow up days though, Ross. I mean, I think the win obviously at the 600 did wonders. I mean, it's a ton of points, especially when you're kind of in a points battle, right? I mean, that's a massive jump compared to when you're on the bubble, right? I mean, a top 15 is normally a really good day. So then all of a sudden you win the race. That's an extra 15 plus the additional bonus 15. So that's a 30-point swing just getting a win, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then I feel like there's been a lot of bubble issues though, guys wrecking out, and he's just kind of stayed steady, man. He's clicking off top tens, top 15s, and he's just doing what he needs to do. So I think he's done a great job this year.
Yeah, and you think about it, that one wreck with, between Barry, Gisbergen, and, Austin Hill right there took out a lot of bubble guys, took out
Yeah.
Brad, Joey, Bubba maybe? I mean, it took out a
Bubba
bunch of
did get
guys.
involved, but he did rally back to finish, I think 20th, I want to say. So,
Okay, yeah, so, it took out a lot of people. I mean, this is about 3 straight weeks where the bubble guys are really getting in these
yeah.
wrecks, so
Uh-huh.
someone like Eric Jones who's just knocking out these consistent finishes, running top 10 to top
Yeah.
15, man, you can make up a ton of points really quick if you just don't get in the trouble. So, yeah, big
So
deal.
the major guys that at least I'm gonna keep an eye on, for these next 2 road courses are the hot and cold guys. So you've got, Bubba is one that he's got a little bit of a cushion still. I mean, Bubba ended up finishing 21st today, but I just don't like where he's at mentally right now. I mean, it seems like anytime he gets an interview, he's just really down on himself. And we know how emotional Bubba is. He's either really high or really low. So he needs to find some confidence to be able to kind of carry that team. He did still manage to gain 2 spots in the standings somehow this week, I guess with SVG and, Brad having issues, but, he's one I'm gonna kinda keep an eye on. Obviously, we're fully expecting SVG to pull away, and SVG has to go out and do his thing. Like, anything short of him dominating and winning, um, he's gonna possibly be in trouble because he's sitting 14th in points. He's 343 back. He's 10 points up from the cushion right now. So it wasn't long ago that, SVG was plus 40 something after a couple good runs on the ovals. And now all of a sudden here he is. Obviously couldn't pick a better time to to go to 2 road courses in a row. So I think as long as he does what is expected of him the next 2 weeks, he should probably be okay.
Yeah, he's gonna need a couple 70 plus point days. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to say it because all of a sudden, if he gets, and it'll help his metric, he'll get back in the top when he goes to Chicagoland and when he goes to Atlanta. He should have a good qualifying position, so he should in turn also run pretty decent during the race. And it seems like it takes about 3 to 4 weeks for the whole thing to flip to go back down to the bottom into the second split or the second group of drivers and really screw your stuff up again. So it should set him up for a good solid 4 weeks right here, where hopefully he can get some good points. But yeah, I agree with you. Those guys are it's tough, and I just don't see Bubba dropping out as bad of a headspace as he's in, and as bad as his attitude is right now, and just as many wrecks as he keeps getting in. That car is just too fast. If he just stays out of trouble, and he'll just knock off top 15. So,
Yep.
this is about that Bubba time of year where he gets in that part of the season where he needs a therapist, and it seems to happen every season, and we're in it right
Uh-huh.
now, and, yeah, he's struggling, and, but yeah, I just don't see him falling out.
So two guys that are a little bit outside of where I'd like to be right now, but still close enough that could possibly mount a late charge, especially with the road courses. You got AJ Allmendinger sitting P21, and he's not too terribly far out. I mean, he's sitting roughly 54 points out of the cut. So, a couple good road courses for him. He could put himself right back in the conversation. And I had pretty much completely written this guy out. but never say never. Ross Chastain had a surprisingly good day today. Was able to get a top 10. I had him nowhere near a top 10 a day. I thought he was going to run mid 20s all day, just with how that car's been. He gained 3 spots in the standings. He's up to P23, and he's only about 60 points, maybe a little less than 60 points out. And Ross is a good road course driver too. So I think this is going to be a pretty pivotal moment in the season of, like we said, we're going to see some comers and goers stretch run.
Yeah, that one car just needs to make sure they don't do anything crazy the next 2 weeks. They have a really good chance, like you just said, of really closing the gap on these guys. I mean, you look at a lot of these bubble drivers, Brad, uh, well, shit, Brad and Ricky are the only 2 that are not, pretty good road course drivers. Brian Priest has been surprisingly good. Joey's been consistent. And AJ is obviously always finds magic in that 16 car. And props to AJ for even being 21st in points with a car
Right.
that basically has nothing going for it. They got no manufacturer support. They're still getting the RCR engines, but I mean, when you think about it, he's the top running RCR engine there is right now, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy to think about, with Ross being second in that group. So, yeah, I mean, just unreal. But yeah, you're right. Ross Chastain's right there. He could make some magic happen, and but anyone below Ross, I just don't see happening.
Last driver I'll touch on before we'll move on, but man, Zane Smith, dude, he had such momentum the last couple weeks. Really started at Charlotte, had a great run at Nashville, and then it just seemed like his luck changed. He was running top 10 last week, blew a tire, wrecked out, and then obviously got super loose under Denny Hamlin. And props to him for not taking the 11 out. He could have easily kind of chased it up the track and kind of used up the 11 to try to save it. He did all he could. He kept it off the 11, ended up wrecking himself. Um, Unfortunately, I feel like that about does it for Zane unless they just absolutely get on a crazy heater and have a lot of help, but he's fallen all the way down to 24th in points.
Yeah, I feel bad for Zane. Our plus 2,800 bet was looking pretty good because he looked like the best forward today, besides
Yeah.
Busher. So he was doing a really good job, and man, he was going for it, and he got loose and snapped it and hit the wall. But yeah, I think that about does it for Zane. He is a pretty good road course racer, so you never say never, but I don't think it's looking good for him.
Yep. Well, we'll certainly keep an eye on the chase battle, the bubble battle, as we like to call it. Um, it keeps a lot of things interesting and a lot of fun with this point format, and that's the thing too. There's just so many storylines to look at. I mean, you got the regular season battle shaping up, and then we've talked about it, right? The metric says you really want to be like top 6 to have a really realistic shot at the championship, and you've got a bunch of guys kind of within that. I'll call it 4th to 8th place range a little bit right now, so, it'll be fun. It's being a Larson fan right now, it's not fun, seeing him not winning in this long streak that he's gone on, but, I am proud of the efforts that they've been able to put together, and that's several top 5s in a row they've been able to put together, and, I feel like that's something that Larson has not always done a great job of in the past. He's either feast or famine, so it's good to see him, if he doesn't have a race winning car, not going out and doing something stupid and wrecking or whatever. I mean, obviously he had that tire go down at Nashville, but that was because he ran over a freaking brake rotor. But for the most part, like I feel like he's been able to capitalize on his days, and it's been fun as a fan being able to kind of see where he's at. I mean, he still sits in points, but he's only 12 back of Ty Gibbs right now, and he's 15 back of Chase Elliott, which is pretty hard to believe because I feel like Chase has been pretty good this season with 2 wins. So, yeah, I'm kind of eyeing that 4th place, maybe 3rd if we can get some momentum on Ryan Blaney. But that's my goal as a Larson fan is to see him try to get to that 3rd or 4th place in points.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. They're just they're managing themselves until they get better cars, and they're slowly starting to get there. I do want to shout out Ryan Blaney for even still being
Uh,
third in points. I mean,
yeah,
you talk about someone who doesn't have good equipment right now. I mean, the last 3 months, I want to say since Phoenix, man, they have just not been very good. They were okay at Nashville, but I mean, they have been really struggling and with speed, not the team just with speed, pit crew mistakes, everything you can name, and he still managed to stick it in 3rd place right here, so that just tells you how dangerous Ryan Blaney is, and it is Penske. They could figure this thing out by the end of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Any other major storylines coming out of Pocono, Ross, that you want to cover before we go down to ORAPs?
Oh, yeah, probably, Connor Zilic didn't finish last today, so congrats to
Yeah,
Connor Zilic. Got a
that's
solid
pretty fair.
P23, so congrats to
Yeah.
Connor Zilic. Yeah, I don't know. It was just another Pocono race to me. I watch them, but I hate every second of it, so.
I will say a couple positive things as we leave the cup race is number one, I want to shout out Prime and NASCAR working together in tandem. Moving the race up to 1 o'clock today was phenomenal. I pray that we can get back to that at some point because man, it is so refreshing to be able to chat with you straight after the race, and then we're gonna hop off of here and still have our whole Sunday evening before we got to get ready for work this week. So,
I know, I'm gonna have to spend time with my kids, yucky.
right,
No, I'm just kidding.
just a kudos to Prime and NASCAR. And again, I can't say it enough. I would love to start a petition to have Prime take over NASCAR full time. We don't need it on Fox anymore. And NBC is normally a big upgrade over Fox, but man, Prime has just done so good, man. I love the pre-race. Obviously the coverage of the race in general, and then the post-race and everything. So it's A+ from me. It's been really refreshing to get some good coverage.
Yeah, and the even the side by side coverage throughout the race is just fantastic. I mean, I catch myself actually watching the TV more during commercials. I'm actually probably paying more attention to the commercials than I would if Fox was showing it because I usually just walk away from the TV or start looking at my phone. But that side by side action, they keep it on the action. I sit there and watch the race and the commercial. So yeah, great job to Prime. I'm going to be really disappointed when it goes. I know TNT is basically the same crew minus Dale Jr. does TNT too, right? I believe he
Um,
does.
yeah, I believe so. Cause yeah, it's pretty much the same crew, right? Just with a different label.
Yeah, same
Or
crew. So,
yeah.
let's enjoy these oh, shit, there's one more week. Let's enjoy this one more
Man,
week,
that's
and,
that's
because after that
it's really good when you physically feel sad when carrier's going away, right? I mean, thoughts were all sitting here rejoicing, and now it's like, man, only one more week of Prime. Like that's I hope they get more races next year.
yeah, and Prime, this is advice from me and Ricky Allen Jr. Why don't next year we get rid of Corey LaJoy and we bring in someone different to do that, coverage on the desk? Because none of us respect Corey LaJoy. He's kind of a never was, and he talks a lot, and he's just not very interesting. He's unlikable. Let's try to find someone else for that seat, please.
Why do we have Corey LaJoy on the podium when I mean, he's one dude that we had in the Cup Series for the longest time that had never won any national series race of like the top three. Um, I think I had actually went through and counted up like all the wins that every like chartered cup driver had. I think this was either last year or 2 years ago. And I got like really deep into it. I'll have to see if I can find my list still. But it was like truck wins, ORAPs, cup, championships, and I think every single person had one. It was like except for like Corey LaJoy and Cody Ware were like the only two guys, and I'm just like, why is this guy in the Cup Series? I mean,
See, here's my deal. Corey LaJoy had me fooled for a long time. I was actually a big Corey LaJoy fan, probably 2019 to 2020. I had the Stack and Pennies shirt. His podcast, Sunday Money, was one of the best NASCAR podcasts there were for a long time. It was like him, Daryl, the guy that's always at the track with the
yeah,
long hair,
yeah.
and one of his other friends. And it was the best NASCAR pod. They would talk about everything. There was no holds barred. I remember one time him and Denny got into it on there. And I just believed all the crap. I was like, man, this guy's in a bad car. If he ever gets in a good car, he's going to show him. He's going to be the man. And then, he gets in that 7 car, which was crap the first couple of seasons. And he had an excuse. And then Hocevar showed up, and Hocevar outran him every time he was in the car. And Corey's mouth never stopped moving. He always talked crap and just saying it's all, it's not my fault. It's the car. It's this, it's that. and I just got sick of it. So that's my Corey LaJoy story, how I went from a huge fan to I can't stand the dude now. And I kind of wish he would just kind of get out of the coverage. He doesn't add anything to the product. He just tries to be so fake with his stupid mustache. I saw him at the American Country Music Awards with his stupid cowboy hat and bottom jeans with the freaking belt buckle. I just hate it. I hate fake people, and Corey LaJoy to me just comes off so freaking fake.
I've got personal beef with him, Ross. Fun little side story. This was, of course, before I was happily married. Back in my days working in the industry, I was talking to this smoking hot chick in Darlington,
Woo woo.
and yeah, we were. I was staying, throughout the weekend, and texting her throughout the race, and just hanging out, having a good time. And lo and behold, she shows up on Corey LaJoy's golf cart. So that was my first personal beef with him, and then I actually used to work out at the same gym as him as well, and, this was back when I was with Spencer with Grunt Style and everything, and, he was trying to steal Grunt Style at one point too, because he kept making comments to Spencer how he could be their Xfinity driver, and then Corey could be their Cup driver, and that they could kinda do this tandem thing, and Spencer's like, "Fuck off, dude, like, that's my sponsor," like, I don't know. He's just always kinda been like a little weasel to me.
He's got weasel vibes. I don't know. I just don't find him likable. We could do without him. Who listens to Stacking Pennies anymore? I mean, honestly, I
Yeah,
would say
never
less
listened.
than 1,000 people do it. Listen to it. It's just not
We're gonna be
interesting. He doesn't.
rivaling his podcast soon enough here at the Burn It Down podcast.
Yeah, NASCAR hires. I'm not shitting on anybody's podcast 'cause it's not like we're big or nothing, but
Right.
like I don't know. I mean, what fan is listening to that? He doesn't add anything. He's just a pompous jerk
I
most of
mean,
the
have you
time.
met
So
someone that's like, "Man, I really like Corey LaJoy, like, he just gets it, he's the man," like, I've never heard that from anyone.
I used to be that guy, Josh, but I've changed. I found my ways.
I'm glad
I
you got
found the
right.
right ways. Yeah, I got right, and I'm not in the Church of Sunday Money anymore, and yeah, we've moved on. Um, yeah, I do want to touch on one more thing with the Sunday's race. The amount of cheers and boos and stuff that Denny Hamlin gets now is crazy
Mhm.
because I don't know if you ever remember going to a race in like 2010 to maybe 2019, 2020 in that time range. Denny Hamlin was one of those people that would their name would be announced for this, like before the race, and there would be crickets. Nobody would say anything. It would just be like it'd be like if you called up like I don't know, name a driver that gets no cheers or boos these days.
Alex Bowman.
Alex Bowman, it'd be like that. I mean, there would be no noise or anything. So the transformation that Denny and his PR team have done since starting Actions Detrimental and everything else like that has been such a good job. I mean, credit to those guys because now Denny is like the household name in NASCAR. He's the guy that people are not afraid to cheer and boo. He's probably sold more merchandise in the last 3 years than he did his first 20 year or 15 years in the business.
I think a big part of that, they've talked about is he kinda took that villain role from Kyle Busch a little bit. As soon as Kyle started dropping off just a little bit, then obviously when he left Gibbs, Denny really stepped into the spotlight there at Gibbs, and he kinda became Kyle Busch in a way, a little bit, so I think that's kinda what it is in a sense.
Yeah, and he's backing it up with winning, and he's doing the Kyle Busch thing.
I said it to you earlier in the week, Ross. I mean, I get a feeling at least, but I haven't seen the super cocky Denny Hamlin. I mean, this is probably the best stretch he's ever been on, and I don't know, I don't hear him really messing with the crowd much. I mean, do you think he's kind of downplaying it a little bit?
I think so. I think he's doing a really good job of not getting
Like, "Damn it,
unwanted.
stop it, I'm starting to like you a little bit, like, I don't like this."
I mean, I'm not liking him or nothing, but I guess you're right. I'm not hating it when he wins. I used to would like just throw the TV off when like
Well, it
Denny
definitely
Hamlin or
helps
someone
when
would
he's
win.
making me some money, I mean, I'll say that much, like,
Yeah. And I'm a sucker for a good podcast, and he has the best NASCAR podcast there is right now.
I
So
do love his podcast. Yep.
yeah, so I mean, it's just Credit to Denny and his crew. They've done a great job of completely turning around his whole thing. He's marketable now. I mean, if you'd have told me that he would have found a sponsor after FedEx 10 years ago, I'd have been surprised. And now he's got the car with the most sponsors on it. And yeah, I mean, just great job to those guys.
Yeah.
Except for Travis. Fuck Travis. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Screw you, Travis.
Just joking, Travis.
Um, well, let's transition back a day. Let's turn the clock back. Justin Allgaier gets it done again, Ross. This is Justin Allgaier's. Let me pull up my handy dandy standings here.
I
And
believe it's his 5th win of the year.
yes, you are correct, sir. Justin Allgaier has won 5 races this season, and this is with a lot of Cup guys that are showing up in the ORAP series. So where they are taking the spotlight a little bit in the trucks, um, Justin has been able to really race some of these guys. Now, I feel like for whatever reason, and I said this yesterday too, I feel like that 88 car does not have a ton of race winning speed. I don't know why. I know Kyle Larson's managed to get a win or two in that car, but I mean, even when Larson's in it, and unless he can really get out front, we've seen William in it. Kind of gets normally passed around between William and Larson when Rajah's not running it, but um, it's kind of weird to me that that 88 is not a little faster than I would think it should be on par with the 7 and the 1 car.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well. The only one that seems to have speed in it is Larson, and even him, it's not like lead every lap speed. It's like if he gets out front, he can manage it. Um, Justin Allgaier, I mean, he's just done a good job of not crapping himself when everybody else does. I mean, it's just some of these races he's winning, he shouldn't be winning, and some of the races he's lost, he should have won. So he's just doing a good job of being there at the end and putting himself in a good position and using his veteran experience against some of these younger guys. And yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going to read some stats to you real quick, which may or may not surprise you. Justin Allgaier has 5 wins and 17 starts so far this season in ORAPs. He has 12 top fives and 14 top tens, again, out of 17 starts. Then for top fives, where he's got 12 top fives, the next closest is Sheldon Creed with 7. So he's got 5 more top fives than the next guy. And he's just not making a whole lot of mistakes like we've talked about. Like, even when he's not winning these races, he's normally finishing top 5. He's got 1 DNF. Um, he's got a 250-point lead over second, Ross. I don't know if you caught it, but I think it's Xfinity had tweeted at some point that he is actually officially locked into the chase, which I don't think any of us were worried about. But yeah, I mean, is I know you don't like Justin Allgaier, so I'm really curious how you feel about this. Try to put your personal hate aside and just look at the stats and everything. Is Justin Allgaier that good right now? Is it like Denny right now, or is it just happen to be his cars are that much better?
I mean, I think his cars are good. I think he has a great relationship with this new crew chief. I think they really do a good job with each other. I just, I think it's a veteran with a ton of experience going against a lot of young guys or guys that just aren't very good. He's beaten Sheldon Creed. He's beaten Brandon Jones. I mean, he's not beating these guys that are super good. Sam Mayer. I mean, these are lifer ORAPs guys who have no ambition of moving up or no ability to move up. But congrats to Justin. He's taking advantage of it. He's doing a great job of putting himself in a good position. Um, and I mean, I almost feel bad for Justin because he's gonna probably have a 350-point lead when the chase starts, and he's gonna be down to 25 or whatever. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. So obviously, we've talked about how awesome the new format is and going back to the chase and everything like that. Um, is it possible at all? I mean, I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it just with how consistent and how good he is, but is there any part of you that's like, oh man, like that would be a bad look if he goes from a 300 plus point lead down to 25, and then what happens if he gets in a couple reps to start the chase and now all of a sudden he's playing catch up? I mean, is that just part of the game at this point, or what do you think about that?
I think it's just part of the game. I mean, we're lucky that we're going to a chase system format from what we had before. So, I mean, all things considered, I'd take that 25-point lead knowing that the points aren't going to get reset every round over anything. I think Justin's just so much better than the people he's racing against that right now it's just not going to be an issue for him. I think he can just go out there and not make dumb mistakes, and I think he might just roll away with this championship. He might win the championship by 100 points, honestly. I mean, just how good they're running, how fast they are. Like I said, there's no real competition. Maybe Brent Cruz can get something going, but I mean, Brent hasn't really shown the ability to close out these races so far. So I don't
Still
know.
so
I mean,
young, man. I mean, he's 18 years old.
yeah. I mean, this time next year might be a different story. Those might be 1B. They might be battling for wins each and every week, assuming Justin comes back.
I mean, Brent
Yeah.
is 12th in points, and he spotted the field 4 races, so that's pretty impressive.
If I was a bet man, I'd say he'd probably get up to the top 4 or 5 by the end of this. Just he's just running so much better than
He
competition. Corey Day
he is
keeps wrecking every week.
let's
Just
let's do, you're not looking at the points, are you? I wanna play a little guessing game with you real quick.
I just opened them up. Sorry.
Oh, dang it, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I was
My
gonna
bad.
say I was gonna have you guess, is Brent Cruz closer to 2nd place, or is Justin Allgaier closer to 2nd place?
Yeah, it's crazy that he's only 150 out, 160 out of second. I mean,
160 out, and
I think he can do that. I mean, didn't Jesse Love and Corey Day wreck this weekend?
yeah,
Lap
they wrecked
1 or
together
something?
actually on lap 1, yep.
Yeah. So, and then I don't know what's going on with Sheldon Creed. He just hasn't shown a lot of speed here the last couple of months either. Uh, Obviously they had that teammate snafu at the end of the race there, which was pretty
Mhm.
interesting. I didn't sit around to watch the post race because that race took forever. But
Yes.
I want to say Sam Mayer mentioned. Did he mention something about Sheldon Creed at the end of that?
I'll be honest with you, I was kind of in the same boat as you, Ross. I was getting a little distracted during that race because I kept trying to lock in, and then we'd have a caution, and then it felt like it took 10 minutes every time to get the race back rolling. So I was very admittedly in and out a little bit during the race. I definitely tuned in to watch the finish. I know there was a little bit of a disagreement between the 2 teammates there, so I don't know how much it's gonna amount to. I mean, it's probably just frustration at the end of the day. I will say Sam Mayer did look really good though, in that race, but it just seems like to me, Sam is very hot and cold. Like he's either gonna run up front and compete for a win, or he's like nowhere to be found. So there's not that mix. And with Justin Allgaier and his veteran experience, he's either winning the race or, like we've already mentioned several times, like if he misses it, it ain't by much, and he still capitalizes on a good point day.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to say that. I mean, that's the difference between Justin Allgaier and the rest of the people he's racing against. I mean, literally everyone else in that he's racing against seems to have issues with consistency. You look at Jesse Love, Corey Day, Sheldon Creed, Brandon Jones, even Austin Hill. None of these guys are consistent. So yeah, it just sets up for him to just kind of roll away with it.
I don't think a whole lot of more to recap on that one. I mean, it was a little bit of a crash fest. Justin Allgaier ultimately comes out on top, wins his 5th race of the season, and pulls away even more. So, um,
Yeah, I mean, you did have some good runs with like Raja in the 32, finished the seventh. But yeah, it wasn't that exciting. Not a whole lot what went on in that race. I was kind of surprised by how average Connor Zilic and some of these other guys ran. And yeah, just another Justin Allgaier day. So congrats, Justin Allgaier. I still hate you, but congratulations.
well, should we recap our picks real quick from this week, and then we'll set ourselves up for the road course?
Yeah. Um, So obviously this week, the Wood brothers announced Josh Berry would not be coming back. Josh Berry announced also that he was not coming back. And I saw a lot of stuff on X and Facebook and all these places that said, going to the Wood brothers is career suicide. This car's trash. They didn't give Josh what he needs. They didn't give him the best equipment. Just a lot of negative stuff about the 21 car, the Wood brothers and all this stuff. Newsflash for anybody who's not aware, The 21 car since 2014, 16, whenever Ryan Blaney took this car over, is a mother frickin' Penske car. That is Roger Penske's car with the Wood Brothers names on it. That's it. There's nothing else to it. I love the Wood Brothers. They're my favorite team. I wish nothing but success for them, but they are nothing more than a merchandise shop right now. They sell T-shirts. Do their museum. They're nothing but a name. They do nothing with the cars. That car is not a slow car. That car should be running with Ryan Blaney. If it had a competent driver, it should be running with Ryan Blaney. It should be at least running with Joey Logano and Austin Cindric, and it's not. Josh Berry just did not do a good job. I'm sorry. I think there was a stat out there that he has been DNF'd in 26% of his NASCAR starts in the Cup
Golly.
Series, which is unreal. You just can't do that. You can't wreck that much. You can't be running in the back so much. He even got involved in that wreck today. Um, but he wasn't running good before that. So I just wanted to say, you can call that car career suicide, but I think there's a lot of top tier drivers who maybe aren't going to go in that car, but someone good is going to go to Penske. And, the 21 car is going to have a competent driver next year, I believe. And I think you'll see that it's not a career suicide. It's probably the guy holding the wheel.
So who's going in that car, Ross, in your opinion? I've heard Jesse Love. Is that right or no?
I don't know. I haven't reached out to my sources. Just my opinion. This is only my opinion, and I've told you this before. The plan when Harrison Burton got to that ride in the first place, the whole plan was for Austin Cindric to go to the 21 car, and I believe Brad was going to re-sign and continue in the two.
Uh-huh.
Well, obviously that didn't happen because Harrison came with a bunch of money. Brad decided he didn't want to take a pay cut to stay in the two, so he went to the six. They offered him ownership or whatever. Um, what I think is going to happen, not positive, I think that Austin Cindric is going to end up in the 21 because, he's on a short lease. He'll get 1 or 2 more years in the 21. The Wood brothers would actually probably like that because, with Austin Cindric, you're getting a lot of backing with Tim Cindric. You're getting more preferred choices on your equipment. So they would probably like that. And I just think Penske has got to go for a big name in that two car. That two car cannot be an average car. They need someone that can run with
Star
Blaney.
power.
Yeah, they need some star power. They can't have such a weak 3-car team or 4-car team. Um, I really think that it's going to be a Chris Buescher or a Ross Chastain or someone in that car. I really do. I don't know. I don't have any information saying that, but that's just what I feel. I just think Penske needs a good third driver, and I think this is the year that they're finally going to pull the trigger.
Well, and I see where you're coming from, Ross, but I'm just trying to follow the trail here, right, of crumbs. Um, Obviously, when Kyle Busch passed away, we've seen Austin Hill in that car, and I feel like if Jesse Love was going to be in that RCR stable for any amount of time, then he would be driving that 33. And I've heard excuses that some of the sponsors are 21 plus, and they're saying that the sponsors don't think he looks much older than 21, so they think it would be a bad look. Like I feel like all that's excuses. I think Jesse Love is sealed and signed somewhere. So if Jesse Love is not going to the 21, he's not returning to RCR. Where does Jesse Love go?
Well, name a ride. I don't know if it's accurate, but I would say maybe an FRM car. I don't know.
I think they do what you say. I think you put Austin Cindric in the 21 and then you go after a big name driver. I just don't see Chris Buescher leaving RFK. He's a staple at RFK. Brad has gone on and on about how much he loves Chris Buescher, how he's their A driver. I just don't see Chris Buescher leaving. And, maybe Ross Chastain. Um, we're anticipating the 48 coming open, right, as well. So maybe, I know you've said Ross to the 48 before. I still think that Hendrick is somehow going to get their hands on Connor Zilic at some point. I think this is one of the earliest we've ever had to start silly season, so it'll be fun to start talking some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I don't know. A part of me wonders if maybe Motorcraft and Ford is maybe cutting back some on the 21, which would maybe be a reason they'd announce Barry out so soon. I just don't see Jesse Love going to Penske. To me, it doesn't make sense. And I could be 100% wrong. Like I said, I have no sources, no nothing. I just don't see the appeal there. I don't see that there would be any much difference from Jesse Love to Josh Berry, honestly. And Josh Berry has more fans than Jesse Love. So say what you will about Josh Berry, he has a pretty big cult following due to his relationship with Dale Jr., obviously. I'll be interested to see how it shakes up. I think it's gonna be a very interesting silly season. And I think, probably in the next few weeks we'll probably have to do like a silly season segment or
Yeah,
something where we just name rides and just go through it because I think there's gonna be a lot of shaking up next year, and I think there's gonna be guys that are in contracts. I'll mention Ross Chastain. Well, someone will be like, "Well, he signed through 2027." That has never
come on,
stopped a driver in the past.
yeah,
Do we
yeah.
not remember Tyler Reddick in 2311? Um,
The time,
I mean, some of these guys, if there's an opportunity, if you're Ross Chastain, man, who's not choosing Penske over RFK?
yeah,
I mean, honestly, you got to go where you think you can win, and you're more consistently probably going to be able to win at Penske than RFK year to
yeah,
year.
yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, I think RFK has kind of hit that little, I don't want to say hit their ceiling by any means because when Brad came over, I mean, gosh, they were bad, bad, right? We had the heydays of Roush when we had the 5-car team, and I mean, they were a force to be reckoned with, and then I mean, their drop off was massive. I mean, they were running 30th every week, right? And then when Brad came over there, injected some money, some life, into that team and really has kind of steadily dragged them up. They went from 30th to top 25 to top 20. And now I feel like they're kind of madsing out a little bit. They're kind of around that 10th to 15th. Obviously, they had that year that Chris Buescher won multiple races. Brad can get up there every now and then, but um, it's going to take a lot of work for them to reach that level of a Penske to be, like you're saying, Ross, for Chris Buescher to confidently say, nope, this is my home. This is where I'm staying for the rest of my career. He might say that because I know loyalty is a big thing, but yeah, if I have an opportunity to drive a Penske car, granted, I think the season format has helped them a lot in the last several years. Because I was going to say between Logano and Blaney, they've won however many championships the last several years, right? But yeah, I mean they're still considered a big three team.
Yeah, I just think you'd be crazy not to go there if you had the opportunity. And maybe Jesse loves a candidate for one of the RFK cars. I don't know because as far as we know from right now on, that RFK needs to find a third charter for next year because I guess that third charter they have is going to Legacy. Because I think it's rented, it's owned by Rick Ware Racing. So, um, yeah, that leaves them with two charters. We've seen the money difference between running chartered and non-chartered. I just don't think it's economically viable to run three cars with only two charters. Uh, so they're probably going to have to lose a driver. I know RFK would much rather lose Ryan Preece than Chris Buescher, but if Chris Buescher has these massive opportunities, it'd be hard for him not
Mhm.
to take them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to keep up with. The only reason I think that it would be love to the 21 cars just because of how quick the announcement happened, and then I think Jesse had even said something about, or maybe it was the team. I don't know. Maybe I just saw that. I felt like Jesse's team was going to be announcing something fairly soon, and I don't know. The timing just seemed to link up kind of at the same time. So,
Well, yeah, and also they pulled out that the third part-time car that they were supposed to run for Jesse throughout the year.
mhm.
RCR pulled that out and they quit running
Yeah, I
it.
mean,
So
we've seen how petty
yeah,
RCR can be. Like, if you're not committed to them, they don't want anything to do with you, with their program or anything. So, which I get, like information wise, but I don't know. I feel like if you've got a good driver, you might as well use them while you can.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like we were just talking about earlier about worthy drivers of a cup ride. We keep hearing rumors of Noah Gragson to the 33s between Noah and
Yeah.
Austin, and I just think to myself,
Why?
is this the best we got? We can't figure out
Yeah.
any. I'd rather call freaking Matt Kenseth, who's 54 years old, and ask him to come drive my car for a year than put either one of
Yeah.
those guys in my car next year. I mean, and
I
that's
don't
just where
think
I feel like
Noah's good at all either, man. Like, I mean,
he's just
talk
not
about
committed.
like the June I've been wanting to comment on this on social media. I'm just gonna say it on the pod, but I'm like, whenever I see anything that Noah posts or anything, I'm like, this dude does everything but like actually drive and compete. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time kind of vibe. You see him going to hockey games and he's doing these different podcasts and he's always trying to be like this Tim Richmond type of figure, and it just screams like I want attention. And like he's got this big personality. He's out there with his shirt off in the infield with fans, and I don't know, it's like he tries so hard um to resonate with the fans, and I guess he's got a decent fan base, but to me it's just like I feel like he has all these side quests that he's doing, and it's like, dude, you're not doing your main job. It's like he's doing everything but his main job. And maybe I would feel differently if he was performing. Like if you're at least running top 20 consistently or top 15 and then he's doing all this extracurricular stuff, like that's fine. But to me, it doesn't seem like it's a good look when you're doing all this extra stuff and then you're just absolute shit on Sundays. Am I wrong for that?
No, I think you're absolutely right, and I think NASCAR's become a lot like F1 where you gotta judge people's talent based on their teammates' results as well, and when you compare Noah to Todd and, Zane, he's just not there. He's not performing, and he didn't perform when he was teammates with Eric Jones. He was really bad then.
Yeah.
He was below his teammates when he was at, Stewart-Haas for that 1 year, so I just don't think he takes it very seriously. I mean, that's what it seems like. He doesn't seem to be in very good shape. I just think he's so involved in so much other stuff that he doesn't put driving which is the most important thing, at the forefront. And I think it shows on Sundays with his execution. I just don't think
Yeah.
he's done a
That
very good
that's
job.
That's exactly how it feels to me, and it's like I said, I'm not trying to shit on him for doing all this other stuff, but it's like the driving and the commitment needs to come first, and I could be completely wrong. Call me out, if he actually does that. I don't know him personally. It just I'm just saying from my perspective of what it looks like and what it feels like, it's just like he's so focused on doing all this other stuff, and he's not performing on Sundays, and I don't know, I almost feel like maybe don't be so outlandish, um if the results aren't coming first. I just think it's a bad look is that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean, he hasn't matured any since his rookie season. I mean, just think about when he went up to Ross Chastain with that bowl cut that he cut in his hair and got
Yeah.
punched right in the face. It's just I don't know. It's just the same old Noah each and every year. He doesn't seem to mature, and I know he has money, and I know that's why he keeps getting rides and he keeps going to different rides and stuff. But I just wonder when that gravy train's going to end up finally, ending. So I don't know. Well,
All right,
Josh, you ready
Ross,
for picks?
let's pull out our picks.
All right. Well, I have bad news for you. I beat you with John Hunter Nemechek this week.
You did take John Hunter this week,
Yeah,
didn't you?
yeah. So
You dog.
I have cut the lead
You
down.
dirty, dirty dog.
Yeah, you.
I thought you took like Noah or something. I guess that was last week, maybe.
That was the week. That was previous week. Yep, I took John Hunter
Yeah.
Nemechek, who finished
What a
P4.
pick by you, Ross.
Yeah, and you took Ty Gibbs, who finished ninth. So it was a
Oh,
respectable day. Just
that's an upset
got
alert,
lucky.
though. That is an
Upset
upset
alert.
alert.
So the season standings now are 7-6. Yeah.
With me still
So
in the lead?
yep, yep. You're
Okay.
still in the lead. So
Ooh,
you
it's
actually get the
close.
first pick. Yep, you
All right,
actually
let
get the
me
first pick. And we are going to the Naval Air Force Base in Coronado, California, San Diego.
all right, this is tricky for me. This is really tricky for me because I do not have SVG. I was really hoping I was gonna beat you this week because I really wanted you to pick first, because now I'm in a pickle. Because if I punt, you don't have to use SVG necessarily. All you gotta do is
That's
beat
true.
me. So I gotta be careful, but I don't wanna burn
Well,
too good of a guy.
I only have two more chances to use SVG. That's the problem.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
either
see that,
here or
and
Sonoma.
that's right, that's right.
And
Yeah,
as a
but if
betting
you
man,
play
I'm
if you
probably going to
play
go
your
this way.
cards right, you could get a twofer. Um, gosh, man, what do I do? I'm gonna need you to send my updated list because I am several weeks behind, but I think I've looked enough.
Exactly.
Oh, really kind of wanted to save Cendric for a super speedway. Him now, I mean, he could be a road course guy. I used the general. I've used Eric Jones. I just don't know if I want to pull out a big name. You know what? Nah. All right. I'm gonna kind of split the difference here. Give me Ross Chastain.
Chastain, yeah, okay, I like
Ross
that pick.
Chastain.
Obviously, Chastain, I like that pick. I mean,
I feel like you could pick the general or someone, right? If I completely punted, no disrespect to the general, by the way, but yeah, I want to make you work a little bit, Ross. And if I can make you burn that SVG pick, I'd like for you to go ahead and do it. But that's up to you, my friend. Who you got?
well, gonna go SVG.
All right,
Because
fair.
I mean, it's just he's the only one I trust this week. The only other person I would even consider this week, if I had him, but I've already used him, is Michael McDowell. Yeah, I think you used him earlier in the year. I mean, I just don't see anybody else really doing a great. This is gonna be, man. I've seen the iRacing videos of this road course. It's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of hops and jumps and all
Yeah.
types of stuff going down these roads. So there's a real
Do you think you could
opportunity for
misjudge
some.
it though? Chicago, the 1 year, so
Yeah, because of Chase Briscoe, of course. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible. I mean, there's a real opportunity for some broken toe links and all types of stuff just based on these
yeah,
jumps and stuff. I mean, these cars are not built to go over these uneven surfaces.
yeah.
So anything's possible. Honestly, I probably should just lay it up, but I'm going to go with SVG. I think
I
he'll
like
be
it.
smart.
I would rather have him this week than Sonoma, which I'm sure he's gonna probably still run away at Sonoma, but at least that's a more familiar course to some of the Cup guys. So I don't know if that'll
Yeah,
make a
that
difference
that's kind of
or
what
not,
I
but
was thinking too myself. Yeah.
yep. So well, we'll see if you can tie it up. This has been a fun little series this year so far. So
Hey, we're
uh,
working on it.
yeah, Rob
Working on
messed
it.
us up at the beginning, but we're we're making it fun here. So all right, Ross. Well, it's been a little bit of a long one, but we appreciate we had a lot to break down, a lot of points, discussions, a lot of action from this weekend. So thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to another episode of the Burn It Down podcast. We will see you later this week for the Betcast, where we'll go road course racing from the naval base there, which will be a lot of fun to keep an eye on. So until then, we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you later in the week.
See you guys.